Hey guys, today, I don't know what to talk about quite yet. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know, man. I feel like, the longer I'm alone, the more, I'm not gonna use the word depressed. It's not the case. I'm not, like, deeply depressed. I mean, I guess you could say I'm depressed, but I'm not, like, suicidal or... I don't know, just, I don't know, isolationism or being alone for an extended period of time without having any human interaction can be very, what's the word? It's very damaging on the psyche. I can explain this. When I was kicked out of high school, it was my second year, and it was just a lot of abuse from home, and I was acting out in school. I was making fun of a lot of the teachers and staff rules. Like, I would point out hypocrisies in the school policies, and I'd say, this is fucking retarded. You know, all you do is hand us a packet, walk to your end of the classroom, sip on your coffee, and do whatever the hell it is you do on your computer. Meanwhile, we have to struggle through these math equations, and you just get to sit there, and you don't even bother to help us. You have your teacher assistant to help us. It's like, what the fuck is this? What are you? Why do you need a teacher assistant? You're supposed to be the teacher. You're not an independent teacher. And so when I said this, it really offended my math teacher, because that's exactly what she would do. She would hand us a packet, go to her end of the room, explain what the concept is, and then just, you know, not in detail explain what happens when you're, you know, when a fraction gets put into the equation, or what happens when you're multiplying a percentage, stuff like that. If she weren't to explain all the little rules that entail that, and those are some of the things that might occur in this packet, how are you supposed to tackle issues that you don't even really know too much about? And so, you know, I mean, I could take my prior knowledge from, like, elementary, which is when they were actually teaching us about stuff. But even I question the legitimacy of it, because it still feels like such a distant memory, and when I look back upon it, I really don't remember a lot of important shit being taught. Like, when you're first and second grade, a lot of important shit was being discussed, like, you know, the basics of math, adding, multiplying, subtracting. The third grade focused more on that. And then when you reach the 5th grade, now all of a sudden you're learning about dividing big numbers, and learning a lot more rules about math equations. But then all of a sudden you go to middle school, and then math is just more of that. It doesn't really go forward until 8th grade, where now it's starting to get into adding and subtracting fractions. Now all of a sudden in high school, now it's dividing percentages and fractions in a single math equation. And I was just, like, kind of lost, because I wasn't really that great at math. But, you know, I'm really good at basic math. You know what I mean? Like, okay, in algebra, that was probably one of the hardest, like, things to learn. And I didn't even master it, I'll be honest with you guys. I never mastered algebra. Like, I struggled with it. Like, I never got the hang of it completely. So So I don't know, the main point is, I feel like school itself, like, I don't know, man, it feels like it wasn't that far away. Like, it really genuinely feels like it was, like, if I really think hard enough on it, I think I can remember, like, some of just certain days. I remember some days being so, like, repetitive. Like, I would go to school, I would do a whole bunch of bullshit, I'd come home to bullshit, and then I'd go back to school to do it all over again. I remember especially because I played a lot of Fallout when I was in school, because I had just gotten Fallout for my second year in middle school when the game came out. No, it was my second year in middle school. It was when the game was announced, and you know, we got it when it came out, and so I was playing a shitload of Fallout day to day. And I just remember that because middle school was one of my favorite times, because I was still young, I was still a kid, I felt like I still had all the time in the world, and at the same time, you know, I enjoyed a lot of things. It was way before COVID. No one had even thought that would ever happen. Yes. Yeah. I guess, I don't know, man. I guess it was just that simple, putting it like that, but, either way, we got completely derailed. You know, I was kicked out of high school my second year, and a lot of my arguments were actually fairly valid, to be honest. And some of the other things were just dealing with other high schoolers and dealing with culture clashes, if you can call it that. Dealing with an extreme amount of, like, I don't want to call it bullying, because I feel like that's just bullshit. People really didn't bully people, but at least not directly. You would be indirectly bullied. That's more accurate to, I guess, my situation, because I was starting to notice a lot of people would insinuate things or say something that hints toward what they're trying to say, but they won't directly say it. And so there was a lot of that. And I also noticed that a lot of people would just give me awful stares and nobody would bother to talk to me. Like, I'm not the worst looking person, but the fact that, you know, I never went to prom, I never went to a school dance, and I was always, you know, since elementary school, I was always shunned upon, I guess, if you want to call it that. But yeah, since elementary school, I was told that I was ugly, I guess would be the way of putting it. But it was a serious blow to my self-esteem, and yeah, people just did not like me. And so I didn't really think too much of it, apart from, hey man, I'm ugly as shit. Said maybe when I grow up, maybe I'll look better. So as I was going through middle school, the same thing happened. Now in high school, it was still happening, and so I was just like, all right, what's going on here? So I looked at myself in the mirror, and I could not feel confident about myself. So I'm like, you know, I'm not that bad looking. I don't see what people see in me that makes me so horrible looking. So I went through a very strange time of resentment, anger, depression, loneliness, and isolation. And so I would go to school, I'd wear the same exact jacket every single day. It was this black hoodie.
That baseball is for after school. And that any radio found on the student
I would not put any effort into getting ready. I would just do the bare minimum. I'd brush my teeth, I'd take a shower, I'd go in there. I didn't put on cologne. I wasn't trying to impress anybody. I was just living life. And people were just like, I started getting a lot more negative attention, and it's like, why do you guys care? You know, you guys treat me like shit so much. Like, why do you guys care what I do? And I started to, like I said, not listen. I would draw a lot of pictures. Like, I was drawing a lot of, like, just stuff.
Please remind your parents.
I would draw power armor from Fallout. I would draw, like, DeLoreans and Ferraris. They would not look pristine, but they got the basic shape correct, and some of the shading could have been better, but overall I just started to draw. I was never really into art class. See, when I draw for myself, I'm unlimited. When I draw for a class, it's an assignment. Therefore, meaning that the subject matter pertaining to my creation has to be tainted by, See, I did not want to take art, but they said I needed to. It was a requirement for my second year. But, as a lot of people may or may not know, I was kicked out of high school my second year. And the reasoning was very simple. It was because the previous 2 days, so 2 days prior to me actually getting kicked out, a student had tried to fight me, and another student had tried to argue with me. Another student had tried to, you know, start up shit with me because, you know, drama. The teacher was trying to explain to me why I'm failing her class when I asked her why she's failing to teach me. And at this point, I had just lost it, and I had walked out of school. I just said, you know what? This is it. I'm done. Bye. And they're like, what are you doing? And I walked out in the hallway. They thought I was just going out in the hallway. And then I had walked out of the main entrance, and I flipped off the receptionist. And, yeah, they're like, okay, we need to talk about your behavior. And then you need to go to the principal's office directly after, after your advisory. They called it advisory period. Basically, your morning class where you just go in and you wait a couple minutes. Like, you wait about 20 minutes. It's not really 20 minutes, like 15 minutes. If you have enough time to get in a quick chess game. And basically, like, if you get there early, it's like 20 minutes. But the class is probably 15 minutes in, you know, reality. But if you got there early enough, like if you skipped breakfast and went directly to the class, like you'd have at least a solid 20-25 minutes depending on how early you got to school. And if you walked to school and got in there earlier than everybody else, it was so much more peaceful. But when the bus got there, that's when shit really hit the fan. See, the thing is, I felt bad for the kids whose bus got there first. Like the first pickup, because they had to get up earlier than me. I was always the third from the last pickup. So I wasn't necessarily the first kid to get picked up. off the bus. I was not the last. So, you know, we still had to wait for the other people, and whilst some of them were just getting to the bus stop, so that means that they were there that means they didn't have to leave the house till a whole 3 or 4 minutes, meaning that they had another additional minute or two of sleep. Not that that really means anything, but
as a reminder, Tuesday is the last day to buy tickets for the Halloween Sadie Hawkins dance with East Boston Forever.
regardless, though, so yeah, no. So then they're like, we need to talk about your behavior. And so at this point, I just said, okay, I'll report to the principal's office. And instead of doing that, I had walked out of the back entrance, and they waited for me an entire day. They tried to find me, and now I was in deep shit. Because apparently it's illegal to walk out of school. Like, apparently, like, not illegal, but skipping school is definitely a crime. And my parents could get punished for it. But they're like, okay, we need to talk about this. And at the same time, my life at home was becoming complete and total shit. And it's to the point where I was getting into fist-to-fist fights with my dad. Like, you know, I grew up, you know, getting hit and stuff like that. Like, I'd be actually punched. I don't mean like a whooping. I mean like I'd actually get fucking punched. Like in the face. Not the chest, not the shoulder, not the back, the actual face. So, you know, when I had that at home, I just don't need that in school. So, you know, when they tried to, and I didn't tell anybody about it either, because like, I didn't tell many people about it, but like, people knew what was going on because I would tell my friends. But I didn't tell teachers or staff because I don't want them to remove my father out of the home, because I feel like that would affect me in a negative way as well, because I definitely needed a parental figure to look up to. My mom is an outstanding person, but at the same time, like, you know, I was at that age where I need like a dude's advice. At the same time, though, my dude in my life, my dad, wasn't the world's greatest person, and due to his drug addictions and other stuff and withdrawals, you know, me and my mom would get abused, both mentally, sometimes physically, but, you know, it was a rather common thing. So sometimes it would be like, he would throw things at us. That was the most common thing, is he'd pick up something and throw it at me. But the rare thing, not really rare, the uncommon thing was when he'd actually fist-to-fist fight me. And then the super rare thing is when he would fight me and I'd fight back, and then he'd call the cops on me. So, yeah, it was getting ridiculous. And so, again, you know, one day I was just listening. I had just bought some new headphones. I had done some chores, and I had saved up so much money, and I've helped out with so many people with landscaping over the summer, and I bought myself a pair of new headphones. They were Skull Candy, and I was just listening to music, playing my video game, and all of a sudden, my dad busts in my door and says, "It's too loud, turn it down." And it's
other side's chained up
in my headset, so there's no way he could actually hear my fucking audio. And so I explained to him, like, hey, you're full of shit, it's in my audio, there's no way you could hear it. And then, you know, all of a sudden he snapped and tried to fight me, and basically what ended up happening is he tackled me in my chair, and, you know, we hit the TV stand that it was on, and the TV fell on him, and actually, yeah, his head went into the TV, but, you know, and so we had to go buy a new TV, but, my mom was pissed because she had bought that we'd had that TV for, like, less than 4 years at that point. It was a rather new TV, and so it was just destroyed, and I was lucky that my PS4 at the time didn't get, you know, crashed either. But, you know, stuff like that would happen more often, where he'd just bust into my room and do some bullshit.
Please remind your parents that the loading zone on Tremont is for buses only.
And I think there were also accounts of my dad actually sneaking into my room and actually stealing some of my money that I hid away. So yeah, there were accounts of a lot of things, but you know, now that I got that out there, it's my closest friends. I would only tell my closest friends. It got to the point where I got to the point where I would tell my teachers that me and my dad, they knew that me and my dad did not have the greatest of father-son relations, but they had no idea about the physical abuse because Child Protective Services would have gotten involved. And I've seen some of my best friends growing up, their lives got totally fucked by that shit. And some of my other friends that had to go through it didn't have a bad experience, but it was awkward nonetheless. And it was just something that, at that point in time, I'm not about to switch families because my biological parents are dead. I call my aunt and uncle mom and dad, which is another thing I was bullied about at school. People would tell me I'm not a real child because I'm adopted. Stuff like that, and it's just like, you know, it's hurtful. But yeah, so like I said, I've had a very like traumatic childhood. How I'm still here, what I'm still doing. You know, people talk about committing suicide and stuff like that. I personally, I feel sorry for the families, and I feel sorry for whatever it was that made the person, I feel sorry for the person, whatever it was that made them kill themselves. You know, it's just, it's saddening. At the same time, I think it is extremely weak because I have experienced a lot of, like, traumatic events in my life, and I've never once thought about taking my own life. You know, so I don't know. It's just like, you know, you talk about it and see, 'cause I was going to enlist in the Marine Corps directly after high school, so if I had ever, like, you know, and I guess this is the way of putting it, if I had ever thought about doing such a thing, then, like, you know, how was I going to survive the Crucible and just basic boot camp, or basic training? How would I survive that if I feel like killing myself because of middle school? You know what I mean? So it's like, I can't be weak. I have to keep persevering. I have to keep going. I can't stop. And you just find something in your life. For me, it was the Marine Corps that made me want to keep going on. And I'm still trying to enlist currently because COVID screwed up the whole process for me. And, you know, they had called me at 9 at night. I had work the next day, and yeah, so they called me at 9. They sent me to Kentucky at 1 in the morning. I had been up for, I want to say, around 17 hours at that point. No big deal, but by the time we got there, you know, and we had to, like, get there, I think around, like, I don't know, I think we got there around 5:30, I want to say, in the morning, and we actually went into the building before everybody else because they had to get me a COVID mask. And they also had to take my temperature and do a whole bunch of other things. And there was this really nice Air Force lady who asked me, you know, do you want to stay inside? Like, you don't have to wait out there. And so they had this actual bench, and I sat there, and I'm just alone. Like, I look around these empty hallways, and just, you know, there was like one janitor. And obviously, because they were just getting ready to do all their other things, and so they're about to test a lot of people. And we're in Kentucky, so there's going to be a lot of people not from my area. I'm the only one like me that's there. And so this shuttle bus, like, I want to say around 7, a shuttle bus had come in. And I was part of what they called a 2-day processing, meaning I took both my ASVAB, I signed a bunch of papers, I went over some legality things, like what legal things can actually prevent you from joining directly and what you can do about it. I went over like stuff about like, if you've ever thought about committing suicide, if you've ever had depressing thoughts, like, whatever, do you see a psychiatrist, blah 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 blah. Technically speaking, I saw a school therapist, and I have been diagnosed with ADHD, but I have been off of medication for over, I want to say over 5 years going on. I got off of my ADHD meds my second year in high school toward the very end of the year. Like, it was toward, I want to say around, like, February? Toward, like, the later half of February. Like, it was close to the end of the year. And I just told them, hey, I'm done with this shit. Like, it's making me... my medication had screwed up my sleep schedule. Like, it made me stay up for extended periods of time. And also gave me some, I will admit, some rather depressing thoughts. Because of the sheer state of everyday life for me. Made it extremely hard. And at the same time, it's just like, and I told them that, I'm like, hey, I feel depressed, I feel sad, I don't enjoy doing things anymore, I'm depressed. And so they're like, okay, we'll take you off the medication. Like, yeah, it's also interfering with my appetite, which at that point I was actually losing weight because I wasn't eating. And so, yeah, and in a way it helped because it helped me lose weight to reach my weight requirement for the Marine Corps. And so yeah. But regardless, so I went over some of that, and it was kind of weird because I'd work the next day. I was supposed to be there at 8, and I was at MEPS in Kentucky, and I actually had to put my cell phone in a lockbox. And I had actually called the store. No one had answered because it was before hours, so no one answered the phone. But it was actually me explaining that I was at MEPS, but nobody fucking answered. So, like, they had no idea. So to them, it was a no call, no show. And so they were actually going to fire me the same day. Like, they were literally about to let me go. Like, this is bullshit. And I came in that afternoon, and my manager had the most pissed off look at his face. He walked up to me, and the Marine Corps actually gave me a paper to give to my work. It says, you will not punish this, you will not, I don't know how it was put, but it basically said, like, you will not be allowed to, I would basically, like, not take any repercussions for doing that, as I was serving duty for the government, or whatever you want to call it, because I was doing MEPS, so I was doing a morally obligated thing, and so it's like a waiver saying, hey, you can't punish this guy for doing that. And there's like no way. And so when they saw that, I had still basically been able to keep my job, but people were like, you got a free day off. And I'm like, it was not a day off, because at this point, when we got there, it was like, so I'd been up for over, I want to say 17 hours before we left. And when we got there, it was a 4 or 5 hour drive. I think we went to Louisville. And yeah. So yeah, and so it was either a 5 or 6 hour drive. Regardless, at this point I had basically been out for over 21 hours, and then the MEPS started. The process had started, and we went through these long lines. We got searched, yeah, we did all these things, and eventually, like, I want to say, by the time that we started like going into these rooms, and we actually met our liaisons and stuff like that, and then we went to this like classroom kind of setting where there was a bunch of desks. You would just pick a seat, sit down. This army guy gave this like presentation of like the expectations and tolerances, going over a lot of military policies, like with tattoos. Like, if you get a tattoo, it has to be in a certain area. Like, you can't, like, you should be able to cover it either with your hand, and it cannot be like gang related, or, you know, you can't have anything like offensive or horrible. So at this point it was just like, you know, alright, whatever. And so they were going over a lot of like legality stuff. Like, obviously, you know, they went over sexual harassment, which I thought was kind of funny because I had actually watched a video for my job, my first job. I had actually watched a video that went over the sexual harassment policy. You know, what happens with HR, so on and so forth. So it's kind of similar, except you have serious repercussions. So, you know, they sort of just gave us that presentation, and so by that time, you know, as part of the 2-day enlistment processing, so they also had to do my ASVAB, which was like, I think, an hour. I think they gave me like an hour and 30 minutes or something like that. So when you account for that, and I'd probably spend 3 hours doing like medical shit. Like, I think the guys that they call it the Underwear Olympics, and it's basically where you hold on a minute. I think it's called the Underwear Olympics is what they called it. It's basically where you actually get into your underwear and socks, and then you do a bunch of, like, a series of, like, motions, and you walk a certain way, like you duck walk. You do this thing where you walk on just your, you just do a bunch of bullshit, pretty much, and, you know, whatever. And so, you know, they had to take, I think, 3 piss tests. I don't know why they needed 3, but they took 3. And yeah, I mean, like, it literally was what it says. By the time that was all said and done, I believe it was like, at that point it was 12, I want to say. I think it was like 1. I think it was like 1:30. I think around that time. I think at 12 they actually paid for a lunch, and the lunch there was actually really good. Actually really good, and it was completely paid for and free. They did not have a breakfast though. So I had actually not eaten. So at that point, I'm like, hey, I've been up for over 24 hours and I've not eaten. Like, can I get seconds? And so I actually got free seconds, which is bullshit because I actually did eat dinner the previous night. So yeah, but at this point, basically, I was up for over 20 hours. And so by the time I actually made it home, I had actually been up, because it's like a 4 or 5 hour drive. No, I think it was like a 5 or 6 hour drive actually. Either way, it was just like, hold on a minute, guys. Oh, Lord Jesus.
What's up, SM Stream?
Hey, I'm telling a story real quick though. I'll get into it in a bit. So yeah, so at that point, like I said, either way, it's like a 5 or 6 hour drive from like wherever, like Louisville, Kentucky to Ohio. So by the time I actually got home, got all my paperwork, waited on my mom, which she took forever to come and get me. I didn't have my license at the time, and it was raining, mind you. And when I get home, it's just like, oh, I want to sleep, because at that point I'd been up for over 24 hours. I think I was going on 30 hours. So, and then I grew the balls, and I said, all right, we're going to my job. We're going to hand my manager this paper, because, you know, they needed to see that paper. And so I went in there, and basically they're like, you're fired. Like, you can't, like, you're officially fired. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And then he looked at me with this crazy look on his face, and I handed him this government piece of paper, and basically saying that I cannot suffer any repercussions for doing MEPS. And so basically, yeah, they're like, oh shit. I'm like, yeah. And then he's like, why didn't you text us or call us? I said, I did. They didn't have any payphones, and I got there at like 7 in the morning. Store wasn't even open, and when I did call you guys, nobody answered. So, and I had to put due to their policy, I had to put my phone in a lockbox, so there was no way I could accept calls. And the store had actually called me 6 times. So, that was an experience. So it was a bad MEPS experience, which kind of turned me away from the military. I'm like, this is such bullshit, I don't want to do this again. It was so unusual. Like, you know, even the guy that took me to MEPS, he's just like, you know, this never happens. Like, a situation like this never happens, and it's so odd. But it was during a weird time where Biden had just become president, and like, you know, that situation with Afghanistan happened where they were, you know, like the Kabul airport thing. And so they were just trying to get people, I guess, to meet quotas. And so they had this plan where if you were over the weight limit, you could still go to MEPS. That would basically not matter. You would still be eligible to enlist. You know. And so I was going to take that opportunity, and I was like literally the only one that actually went. I was actually in the office, I was signing my papers, and I actually overheard the recruiters making phone calls to other, they were called poolees is what we were called. It was a training regiment, and basically what we did was we worked out, we lost weight, we went over a lot of like military exercises like pull-ups and stuff like that, like some really hardcore exercises. A lot of core strength arm exercises as well. We did a lot of just stuff, man. We did it all together. Like, we did something called a resupply run. It's basically where you take 2 ammo cans, you run, and then you drop your ammo cans, grab a sandbag. You know, it's just, it was training. And I was doing that for a while. And, what do you call it? So yeah, no, they were calling a lot of the people that were in that program. Nobody would answer them. Nobody bothered. And I was already there. So I was the only one from Ohio to do this. So pretty much everyone else was from Kentucky. There was one lady that was there at MEPS, and she was from Indiana. But apart from that, it's the only one from Ohio. So some of the people there were actually kind of friendly for a change, which is kind of different because I'm not used to people being friendly. See, I'd played football, so I made a lot of friends doing that. But at the same time, like I said, I wasn't popular in high school. And like I said, I was just bullied. I want to say bullied, but I would just say isolated because people didn't want anything to do with me. So regardless, just feeling acceptance actually felt pretty cool. People were actually interested in what I had to say because when they're like, "Who are you? You're not from here. You don't sound like you're from around here." And so I explained that I was from Ohio, that, you know, doing a 2-day enlistment, and I've been up for over 24 hours. People are like, God damn, because they actually went to a hotel, got on a shuttle bus, went to a hotel, then they woke up the next day to do maps all properly and everything, and then I had to just be, I was crammed in a smart car on my way down to maps. And I'm 6'1" in a smart car, and let me tell you something, being in that car for 5 hours was not a fun experience. Regardless, you know, it was just such an uncomfortable experience. It was just such a waste of time. I almost got fired. But, yeah. Oh no, Slayer, do you remember when I went to MEPS? Did I even know you then? I think I did.
No, I don't. No.
I think you came into the friend group shortly after. I told Justin all about it as soon as I got home. I'm like, Justin, this military shit is bullshit. I'm like, dude, I've been up for over 24 hours. And then he's like, oh. And I'm like, Justin, listen to me. Listen to me. Whatever you do, do not volunteer anything. And I still suggest that if whenever any person in command actually asks you to volunteer, like, hey, can you volunteer to do this? Never say yes, because they will make an example out of you. Why is that ghoul's neck so fucking long? What the fuck? What the fuck? That don't look right. That don't look right.
I'm currently doing a mission, the last voyage of the USS Constitution. Find the SLL-3 turbopump variant. I'm in the General Atomics factory right now.
Yep. I don't know if I've already done that quest or not. The last voyage, yeah, I haven't done that quest yet. I started it, I've completed it. Dude, bro, like, look at all the quests that I have completed, though. Either way, though, Slayer, yeah, I was explaining the story of when I went to MEPS, the 2-day enlistment processing, or same day. Oh, man. Yeah, I almost got fired. Like, legit, they were...
I feel like the password for this terminal would be made because the Mr. Handy's is British. Okay, likeness is 1, okay. Yeah. Playing Fallout. I can. Because this game's a single player, so I can pause it. No, I'm still.
I hear something. What is it? A noise. Cover! Come
the store.
Oh, okay.
Right back to the store, so I'm not. I mean, headset's gonna be muted, so I'll be back.
Okay. All right. Well. All right. I'll be right back. Alright, guys. Sorry about that, I'm back. Hey, so when I'm done streaming, I'm gonna go clean the gutters. And yeah, I'll just do that, and then we can stream some Doom. So today is actually my friend's birthday. And so we've been wanting to do some Halloween-esque shit. So today we are going to Land of Illusion, which is a amusement park. It's Halloween themed. I think they do other stuff as well, but during Halloween they have a bunch of like haunted houses and horror attractions. So yeah, tickets are like $50-something a piece. Which, to be honest, so the tickets would normally just cover like 2 rides. This covers admission and everything. So, and it also covers like food and beverage. I don't know by how much, but I'm about to call and see if I could just like buy the tickets there, or if I could just buy them online. Because otherwise I'd have to like, I don't know, I don't think ordering them's the real thing. I think you just buy them, they give you like a QR code or some shit. Did I hack that? Yeah, that's all I'm really gonna say about that. I don't know, like, I was just trying to find something to talk about, and I don't have much to talk about. And so I'm actually, well, in recent news, I am gonna go take my ASVAB. At Clark State. So that'll be the following Friday. I have a week to study for it, and honestly, guys, I guess I just want to study a lot of like math. Because I actually scored a 29 on the practice test, And the thing is, I just have to score a 30 to actually pass. Now on the practice test, there's not a lot of questions, so if you miss one, it's a huge percentage off because there's less. I actually like this statue here of George Washington. I believe that's George Washington signing the Declaration of Independence. It might be, because this is Boston. But it is what it is. The one thing I do recommend, guys, if you are to get into Fallout, always check out these unmarked locations, because usually they'll have like magazines in them. So yeah, there's that. And I will be doing some more Doom content as well. son of a bitch. Sorry about that. Mom's panicking about nothing. That's what moms do, they panic. That's why I'm about to get my own place.
Alright, I'm back.
Oh, hey, dude.
Hey. Hi, Diesel.
Alright, man, I'm gonna eat. That's what else I was doing. So me and Chase are going to Land of Illusion today. Did you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you.
Do you guys have Land of Illusion? I didn't know if it was an Ohio thing or if it's everywhere.
No, we don't.
Okay. Yeah, Land of Illusion has like 5 large haunted houses. And they have an escape room, I believe. They have other things you can do as well. So, I'm buying us tickets. And if worst comes to worst, we'll go to Waffle House.
McCready, move! Ah, fuck! God damn.
Yeah, that's how Fallout companions are. They always get in the way.
I'm trying to unlock a fucking door and it's not working.
Trying to find Nick Valentine.
You're going to find Nick Valentine?
Yeah, I don't know where he's at. I don't know where I left him. I don't know which settlement.
When you said you're gonna go find Nick Valentine, I thought that meant, oh, you didn't do the damn it. Now I gotta, oh, fuck. No, never mind,
I'm at level 76.
I'm almost level 35.
Yeah, you got a long way to go.
Hey there.
Kid, we all pitched in. We want you to have us. You're a hero. You know that?
Huh, thanks. Some random civilian just gave me some buff out. The Valentine Detective Agency.
You're back. How did everything go with the Nakano case?
Oh.
I tracked Kenji's daughter to a synth refuge up north near Far Harbor. But she didn't make it.
That's terrible. I wish I could say that was rare for these kinds of cases, but we're almost always giving people bad news. Thanks for coming in for this one. I knew something good was happening when you and Nick started working together. Don't be a stranger, Gumshoe.
If I didn't know better, I'd say you're giving our friend here all the credit.
Just keeping you on your toes, Nick.
The people of the Commonwealth slept soundly. The greatest
Excellent.
monster is gone. It took a lot of guts to do what you did. I know it couldn't have been easy.
It had to be done.
You'll get no argument from me. It's hard to even wrap your head around. A world without the Institute, lurking in the shadows. But that's the life the people of the Commonwealth will get to lead now. All thanks to you.
I didn't do it alone.
Sure. We both know without you, none of this would have ever been possible. This is a brave new world you ushered in. But I suppose it'll do.
Thanks again for closing out the Nakano case. You never know where some of the hard ones are going to take you.
Nick.
Time to hit the road? Let's head out. All right. It's all right. I'll take it.
I'll send Dogmate to Hangman's Alley. So now with Nick Valentine as my companion, we're gonna max out the affinity.
Even good people do crazy things when they're scared.
What, you don't like the vacuum diesel?
Hanging out with Valentine, huh? Good for you. Nick is good people. You know what I mean.
You keep that synth freak at arm's length. You understand me?
Need a drink. Nuka-Cola.
Here you go.
Common decency. What a pleasant change.
Ah, thank you. Thank you.
Think there was much kindness to spare.
Protection for sale. And food. Pieces.
I will come back, give that guy another Nuka-Cola. This is one of the easier ways to do it.
Hey, Sheffield. What do you think about coming to work for me?
Really? You mean it?
That's right.
I'll send him to... the castle. Jamaica Plain.
Okay, I'll do it.
Diamond City's not the worst settlement I've seen. They have plenty to drink for.
Here you think Diamond City is a rust bucket. Well, if you don't like it, you ain't gotta stay.
Shop in safety. No
Come on out, Mr.
Don't be caught dead. Protection from Commonwealth weaponry.
You hear about that settlement? Covenant? Nice. Real clean. Entrance requirements, though.
What is that?
A vacuum.
I'm gonna store some junk. Pre-war money. Silver locket. Alright, we're gonna go to Jamaica Plains.
Hey, this is Jamaica Plain. Jay Sharp. A lot of raiders end up here looking for that lost treasure.
Hello, sir.
Hey, General.
Yes?
Excuse me.
Yeah? Huh?
Alright, we're going to start production now. So right there. Okay. Miscellaneous recruitment beacon. We need some ceramic.
Hey.
One.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
What's the plan?
Mother of all fucking God, they keep killing me.
You are able to establish supply sites between your workshop settlements. You can build workstations, workshops, and their settlements. Alright, screw it.
I just need to trade gear with you.
Alright, let's go to our resources. Miscellaneous.
Oh, that's stupid. I accidentally killed. Alright. Are you really serious? Okay. That is some bullshit. Seriously? I'm kind of pissed off.
What happened?
You know what? I accidentally killed one of the freaking robots for the USS Constitution. I didn't mean to. The only reason why I did it was so I could use my Fat Man. That way I could take out all the enemies. But, of course, if you damage the robots, they turn on you.
Yeah.
Bullshit. fuck these guys up. I used the fat man, I did it right this time, okay?
I'm sure you are, man.
Okay, I'm gonna stop playing for a bit.
I feel kind of stupid too sometimes when I play Fallout.
Well, I'm gonna leave the party.
Alright.
See you whenever, dude.
No.
So, when are you going to get your driver's license?
I already told you this 1,000 times.
Part of it is I couldn't hear you, okay? So, have you gotten your driver's license yet?
I told you no.
Okay.
I told you I don't go until November 19th.
Alright.
I don't know how many times I've told people this.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
yeah, look, if it was up to me, I would have went the next day, but unfortunately, dude, due to COVID, people have been waiting for a little bit longer than I have, so, yeah.
Alright, dude.
And they're very busy, too. Because each year, a 15-year-old turns into a 16-year-old, and they gotta go take their test. Oh my god. Now what did I just do?
Alright, well, I'll see you later, dude.
Alright, man. Oh, man. Could it have really just been that easy? Are they still fighting over there? Jesus Christ. Jamaican plane. ID Mantis 3. We need fertilizer.
Identification acknowledged. Welcome, Mayor. You are cleared to proceed.
Heads up.
The former...
Hey, Valentine.
Something up?
How are we doing?
Hard to say. No, some folks are just out for themselves. Some want to help those in need. Jury's still out, which can't be your end.
Your thoughts?
What do you suppose did this place in? The bombs or the people after the bombs?
Your thoughts?
I wouldn't let my guard down. Still plenty of opportunities for trouble.
That was all I had.
All right.
I'm just looking on Instagram and stuff. Trying to find some pretty funny memes. What? This phone. Okay, so now you know how they're like bringing back these like weird flip phones. This phone flips into a T, and then it shows the fucking Teen Titans tower. Bro, what the hell? Hold on. Hold up, bro.
What the fuck? Bro, like this goofy on phone. What the fuck? Bro, like this goofy on phone.
There's a Teen Titans theme too. That's funny. I don't know why that's funny, but it is.
Let's trade.
Thank you. It's like I can finally think straight.
I need oil, rubber, and screws. So I can build a water purifier, but the problem is the water that's close by is all the way over here. And the problem with that doesn't help anybody out. So I got rubbers, screws, and oh, and oil. We need oil. That's cool because we can get that right here. Alright, cool. So water. Oh, I need more rubber and I need more screws. So, and as far as the screws go, I don't know. We'll find something that has a screw in it, like bro, something's bound to have some screws in it, like maybe there's like a fan or something we can break down. Potentially, I don't know. Gray Tortoise, famous cigarette. Huh. I always did wonder what was on that cigarette box. Cigarettes. There's gotta be some fans nearby, 'cause fans have screws. That has a double meaning.
Hey, I just wanted to introduce myself. I just wanted you to know that I'm ready to do whatever it takes to make this into a real home. So, is there anything you need me to get started on?
Did you need anything?
Well, to be honest, we're a bit short of food. Anything you could do would be appreciated.
Yeah. I think over here is where our gardens are gonna be. assign them on this one. I know, granted it's not the world's greatest thing, but hey, we got the food up a little bit.
Thing for antiques, huh?
Got him.
I'd like to trade some items.
Sure.
I cannot wait to get local leader 2 so I can just build a weapon workshop there at Jamaica Plains. I actually want to turn it into a pretty alright settlement. Mainly because it has all the necessities to be a good settlement, like, you know?
Every piece in here is worth what I charge for it. No.
I'll take a look. Sure.
Here's what we got.
And we are going to look for the junk. Bag of fertilizer, bag of cement. at it. Buy a desk fan.
Or something.
Heads up.
Something you need?
Alright guys, well, alright, so as for water, okay, so they have a little bit of food and a little bit of water. Just enough food and water to survive on. Enough so that each of them get 3 or 4 meals a day. And there's only 3 of them, so it's not a large settlement. Alright, so defense though. Since no one's on a guard post, we will go ahead and wind up actually placing down a turret right here. Just to make sure that my people are safe. There's another turret right around here. Defense. Put one up high to sort of close the gap. I mean, these people can fend for themselves. I don't think that they're very strong per se, but overall, if we turn that whole parking lot into a farm, we can seriously get a lot of food and water. Oh, wait a second. Water. Fuck. I forgot. Now I need oil and rubber. It's fine, we can come across it. Used oil can.
Security's too good.
Always had a way with machines.
Sure, that'll be like an oil cannon here. I gotta find something rubber.
Sweet.
All we gotta do is find a toilet plunger. I'll have some rubber. I thought there was like a hardware store nearby. Here we go. Okay, literally need just one gear and a screw. One gear and one screw.
Can we trade a few things?
Of course.
Hey there.
Hi, how are ya? I'm new around here.
It's not exactly paradise, but what is, right?
With some hard work, I think this could be a decent place to live. Anything specific you want me to do, I'm willing to pitch in anywhere you need.
Did you need anything?
Food's been a bit short lately, making it tough on everyone.
Taste.
Got it. Look alive.
Go ahead. Take a look.
Now I just have to find something that's rubber.
Message to Buster Conley. Nice piece you did on the monorail construction project. Heaven's Highway, Devil's Doing. Cute. But I think you give organized crime too much credit. The various Boston families coming together to fund a public works project? Please. Clearly you never sat down to dinner with these guys. They can barely agree on an appetizer. And ain't nobody jumping to pick up the check. The bosses have their hands in the honeypot, sure. But nowhere near the level you were suggesting. You did get one thing right, though. Safety Inspector Alice Linsky was killed. They'll never find her. Because there's nothing left. After he bashed her brains into one of those giant wrenches, Vinny the Cracker's Venucci dissolved her body in a barrel of hydrochloric acid.
Protectron on duty. Not attempt, please. Justice will be administered swiftly and fairly.
This is beyond me.
Oh, that's right. We're looking for gears. Gears. I forgot. No, I remember. I think it was gears and screws. I think the fans come with gears, so I think we'll be fine. Here's an adjustable wrench, so we'll be fine. There's always one of those around. Happiness is at 24%. Holy shit. Well, you see, considering our protection detail, I mean, it should be rather fine. I mean, they're all armed people anyway, but they're not, like, super armed, but should they defend themselves, they have a, you know, a way of defense. I wish that some of them had better weaponry, though. Either way.
Seems to be growing well.